Well, the Albanese government is getting a direct message from business now, but also some high-powered union figures, at least one, that they are running the country in the wrong direction. They're attacking their economic credentials, and the criticism centres around tax, IR and red tape. Joining me now is the Nationals leader, David Littleproud. David, thanks so much for your time. I'm not sure where you are today. There you go, Cunnamulla in Queensland. So we're happy to have the connection with you. Look, there's a lot of criticism coming at the Albanese government at the moment, but there's also some criticism reserved to you, particularly your position on the supermarkets. Do you take a backward step?
No, I don't. I don't resign from our position. In fact, it's one that's been held predicated on evidence and the mounting evidence of how supermarkets have dealt not just with farmers, but also consumers. We've already got divestiture powers in this country. We've got them in the energy sector. In fact, Anthony Albanese himself voted for those. He stood up to the big energy CEOs, but he won't stand up to Woolworths and Coles CEOs when there's Australians tonight that won't have dinner. Why wouldn't you make sure there's fairness and transparency from the farm gate to your plate? If there's a drop at the farm gate, you should see a commensurate drop at the checkout. Conversely, if there's an increase at the farm gate, you should see that at the checkout. But what we've seen from the clear evidence is that supermarkets have actually gained this. We're not shutting them down. We're not selling them off. We're simply saying there's a big deterrent. Big business thinks that they're doing the right thing. They have nothing to fear. So it's not our policies that are putting pressure on cost of living. The unions are now even fighting with their own family member about the fact that this country's going in the wrong direction, and that's only taken Anthony Albanese and Jim Chalmers 2.5 years to do that.
Sure.
Whether it be IR, whether it be energy policies, we're all paying the bill.
Yep, and look, they have not. It doesn't sound like they'll take a backward step. This is just a preview, what we're seeing today in the papers, to what Brian Black might say tonight at this BCA dinner. But you are the alternative government. You could be part of the alternative government. We're looking at potentially a hung parliament at the next election. What would you do about all of these things? IR, red tape.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not new impediments, are they?
Well, they are new. Under this government, they've all been brought in.
Not completely.
Where the multi-bargaining with the IR, multi-employer bargaining legislation that's tearing up the goodwill between business and employees. What we want to do is make sure there's a light touch with government and industrial relations. Let common sense prevail, but have guide rails like we want guide rails for the supermarkets. But we don't need to reach in where unions are running the show in terms of industrial relations, because governments don't create jobs, business do. The only jobs we create, you pay for. In fact, you're paying $24 billion for 36,000 new public servants that they announced in the last budget. What we've got to do is wind back some of this policy that's been brought in with industrial relations, and we need to increase supply on gas immediately. That's what will help reduce electricity bills, not just for households, but for businesses. And if we don't put that environment around them, as not only the BCA, but even the union officials are now saying, we're going in the wrong direction. Anthony Albanese has taken this country into a spiral, and it now needs new leadership, just getting back to basics. That's what Peter Dutton and I'll do as the alternative government, and that's what we'll show the next election. To drive down your costs, we've got to get supply up quickly in gas, and then put the guide rails around supermarkets, as well as a proper immigration policy that we're going to bring in the skills we need where we need them to build the homes we need. And that's why people have lost hope, and young people in particular have lost hope in being able to buy a home. You can pull those levers very quickly, and that's what we intend to do.
All right, David, we'll have to leave it there. Enjoy Cunnamulla. We'll see you soon.
Thanks for having me.